This is my Argus 500 slide projector. This is my Bell & Howell Filmo-Sound Specialist 552 60mm movie projector. This is my Kodak Super Showtime 8 movie projector. And this is my Kodak Instamatic M110 movie projector. And this is what I called my GAF 3000S Super 8 movie projector. And the reason why I call it the GAF 3000S, because it freaking works! The Bell & Howell Filmo-Sound Specialist 552 60mm projector rules, because it will run 60mm films and plays movies and cartoons just like you did in school. And then Kodak released the Super Showtime 8 movie projector. Now that's a good projector, and it will play standard 8mm films without the hassle. And it was a compact movie projector that Kodak produced. And then Kodak released a third movie projector called the Instamatic M110, and it runs standard 8mm film and Super 8 movies in one projector. And then GAF released the 3000S Super 8 sound movie projector. And the reason I call this a GAF 3000 is because take a look at this freaking movie. This is a Super 8 movie. It looks like a freaking reel-to-reel tape. And plus, what the freak made by GAF Corporation, New York City? GAF my rear! Alright, the GAF 3000S has decent picture quality, nice sound, all the picture, all the hardware, including a auto-load feature where you can load Super 8 film that a sprocket is so small you cannot put a standard 8mm film on it. Now the Kodak Super Showtime 8 movie projector has sold more than the GAF 3000S because it loads standard 8mm film. Like I said, the GAF 3000X has decent picture quality, nice sound amplifier, but the Bell & Howell Filmo-Sound Specialist 552 60mm projector is much more better than the actual Super 8 sound projector. And plus, if you look below the GAF 3000S, it has the controls. It has, including a volume control, a sound-on-sound control, the erase switch, the record button, the playback switch, the auxiliary where you can plug it into your mobile device, like an MP3 player, a microphone jack, and then the speed selector. And I forgot to mention, the external speaker is on the back of the unit. That's right, the external speaker is on the back of the unit, where you can plug it into your speaker, or you can use it as your stereo amplifier. Now, what the freak would GAF making an adapter for the GAF 3000S? It cannot be recorded on any Super 8 silent film. And now, I would like to show you the GAF 3000S movie switch, where you can switch to thread, feed the film into the slot, and then to forward where you can watch the actual movie. And then after you finish, you can rewind the film by switch to rewind, and while you're running a movie, you will switch to reverse to see some weird things on the screen. I have some movies to show you, so let's give it a test run. Chris here on my channel. Now that Sylvester is going to be taking a big break from now, probably for a little bit, I'm going to show you once again my GAF 3000S movie projector. This is a Super 8 sound. I recently got off of eBay just as last week, but in addition, I actually got it. It barely works. Of course, it's in good condition, and of course, the original plug, I plugged it right into the wall because the original one is completely missing. And you can see the back shows. Yep, you could tell. You can't see it in the. There it is. There's the plug. Thanks to the it was parted out of a Kodak Carousel 650 projector, which it does not work. I plugged it right into the wall outlet, but Sylvester hasn't shown this one because due to lack of quality or something like that. You can see the back shows the external speaker, or you could hook it up to an auxiliary output for an amplifier. And there's the back of the unit. Yep, you can see here is the name GAF 3000S, and here's the controls. There's your off, thread, forward, rewind, and reverse. And here's the knob for focus, and there's the knob for frame, and here's the knob for elevation. You can raise up your projector, and here's your basic controls. There's the monitor, volume control, sound on, sound control. I have not seen that one before. And here's the erase switch. We can turn off or on. And there's your record and playback. Here's what you do. You can hit the button switch whatever you want it. And hold on just a second here. You can hit the record button. Well, you can see the light is turned on while it's recording. And here's your auxiliary microphone, and here's your speed selector, which is actually the 24 frames per second or 18 frames per second. These are the switch for the film speed. And if you can tell, it looks pretty nice. But if you can open up, if you open up this, you can see here's the inside of this unit. There's your thing. Here's your threading. Here's the threader, so you can thread the film into that. It goes. The film can go right into the sprocket hole, into the film gate, into this, into the head, magnetic head, and then the big sprocket goes in here, and it takes you right into the take-up reel. But things, and also in addition, it has a nice looking feature. It has a magnetic head. Yep, I cleaned the heads a little bit, so I had to do is lift it that way so you can use Q-tip to clean the heads. Yeah, but when I got this, it's a little dirty. When I tried testing the Super 8 sound movie, it was a bit dirty. The audio was kind of muffled, so I had to use to clean it with the Q-tip. There you go. You can open up and clean it gently with the Q-tip. And here's your capstan and pinch roller. That's kind of like a unique feature for the Super 8 sound projector. And of course, here's the DNE lamp. I actually replaced it with a new one. I bought it off of Amazon this past Friday. I got this. I ordered it last time when I went to Amazon. I ordered it, and this is a new DNE halogen lamp, the one that I got off of Amazon last night. Because I put it in, I installed it here. I put a new one in because the original DNE halogen lamp was actually blown. It was completely blown. So I actually put a new lamp, and everything works great. So it was a very nice projector. So if you have to do is close the whole thing. And here's your film. I'm going to test it and see how this thing goes. Yep, here it is. The screen is turned on. It looks very nice. See, there's the vent where the light is turned on. And yeah, you can see the volume control. You can hear the amplifiers running. And there's actually the film looks nice. nicely done. Let's close the lid. That thing works. I'm glad I actually got it off of eBay, and the point of view is it looks pretty nice for a Super 8 sound projector. That's how this thing goes. So now I'm gonna before I gotta show you this, I'm gonna test out film and see what it does. So hold on just a second, and before I do, let's throw in some film. And I have an extra reel, which originally came with this one. So I don't have a GAF reel, but it's got the Sears reel. You can put it in here. That's all there is. And of course, there's your film right there. And of course, I'm going to give you a little bit of demonstration video here because this is interesting. So let's fire up and see what happens. To run this movie, all you got to do is switch the thing to threading. Just feed the film. Yep, you have to feed the film in the slot. And of course, oh yeah, it's just, yeah, it is a pain to load. But yep, it is exactly a pain to load. There you go. And there you go. Now the take-up reel. Now the film goes into the take-up reel, and once you get it there, so now the film is in place. Let's see. Yeah, this has a notch for the sprocket to see what the thing looks like. Yep, these are sprockets. But, oh, great. You have to put the film in. So this is what I got to do to watch the film. Here we go. Once I have to, you move your finger a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I know it's a pain to load up the reel. So now I'm going to give you a little bit of a demonstration video to show you this one. So check it out. See what it is. After you thread, you're going to switch to forward and let the show begins. Oh, sorry folks. It's yeah, it's a little pain to. Okay. All right, now we're just yeah, it is kind of unraveling. Yeah, the film is kind of unraveled a little bit, so I know it's. Yeah, let me fix this thing up, and once you're ready, yep, it kind of runs, but hopefully, before I showed you, this is now the film is back up and running. So now, here we go. Here we go again. Yep, the film is running pretty well. Wow. And this is great, folks. Now the projector is running and the film is about to go off. Is about to begin. Yeah, you can adjust it with your focusing knob. Here's your knob. You have to focus by using this knob right there. And the frame knob is where you can raise the film to see what the knob is. You have to move the film with the knob, like using the framing knob to see what the picture lowers it down, or lower it up, or lower it down. Wow, it's very interesting. Well, there you go. Now I'm going to watch this cartoon, and once I'm finished watching it, I'm going to stop the video right now, and I'm going to give you a little bit of and we'll show you how to rewind the film. So stay tuned. I'll stop the video right away, and we'll come back. We're going to rewind the film like it used to be. So hang on. Okay, we're almost out of the film right now. We're reaching the end of the movie. We're just going to watch the end of the cartoon. Okay. Once this is actually the end of the cartoon. Now you've seen it. It's all done. There it is. It's the end. And watch it goes into... Oh yes, you can see some weird things. Gotta love that film leader running out. That was like the end of film leader. Wow. I'm stuck on this, so... Now, the film is finished. We're gonna do a little bit of a rewind. So, let's do some rewind and see what happens. Now you've done, take the film from this and put it on there. Put it on this one on the right side of there. Once you can, the film is going right into the thing right there. It's in the slot, and then of course turn it clockwise. Then switch it over to rewind, and there you go. You could do a fast rewind, just like the way it used to be. Now, film is back to its position. Take this film in here, put it back in one of those boxes. And put this thing in the box, and you're good to go. Okay, just to let you know that this projector is it's a very neat projector that I actually have. I always love it. Tell us what you think about this projector. Well, I love it. I actually like this one because a lot better than the Kodak Instamatic M110. And this is actually like one of the this is probably one of the most popular projectors that I got, because the reason why is it runs on Super 8 only, and it will never run on standard 8mm film because it's not fully compatible of running standard 8mm. But no, it only runs on Super 8. Either Super 8 or Single 8, what they call it, or Dual 8, whatever you can call it, this projector, as well as what they called. But GAF actually made these projectors. They made the Viewmaster and the whole thing. And then they had the 3000S series and, of course, the 3100S series projectors. And very nice. It's a very neat projector. I'm glad that I got this in my collection, because the reason is the projector is very nice. And it's got the magnetic head. You can tell you what was in there. The magnetic head is it's a unique way to show you. It's like a playback head. Unlike the Bell & Howell Filmo Sound 16mm projectors, it had a sound drum. It had the use of a sound drum with along with an exciter lamp, where it eliminates sound coming from the exciter lamp, with the use of an exciter lamp. That eliminates sound. But this Super 8 sound projector, it has a magnetic head. It's like it has a magnetic stripe, just like they do with tape. It has the pinch roller and the capstan, just like you do with reel-to-reel tape or cassette tape. Depending on a lot of these equipments have cassette tape, cassette recorders, and reel-to-reel tape recorders had a capstan and pinch roller engaged. But this is actually the best one. I always loved it a lot, and very nice. It's very nice. It's in very good condition. Yeah, but I recently got off of eBay last week, and of course I actually recently ordered a DNE lamp, which because it blew, the lamp just blew after I got it. So I had to get rid of it, and of course I ordered a new lamp because I replaced it. It looks, a week later I got a new one, and I actually replaced the original one, but thankfully it works. And how good is that? And of course, just to show you a little demonstration here, just to give you a little bit of a demonstration, I'm going to show you that I already showed this one because this is the Ugly Duckling, and this is a Super 8 release. It was part of what they call Walt Disney Home Movies. And yeah, Disney did put out a lot of these Super 8 films in the 70s, probably right up until the late 70s into the early 80s, whatever it is. It had an incredible run. Featured scenes from films like Cinderella, Snow White, Bambi, Jungle Book, and a few others that were released as digest movies. Kind of like they did with Castle Films when they released a lot of digest movies like Abbott and Costello and horror Universal monster movies that were all digest movies. It was just half of the feature film. But yeah, these are like 7 or 8 minute films. They're actually featured highlights from the certain Disney animated film between them. That was one of these animated classics. But if this was before home video first started to exist, started to appear. And of course, I have these are all a lot of great movies. I have Cinderella's Fairy Godmother and Cinderella's Surprise Dress. Both of these are from the movie Cinderella, because I have the actual movie on VHS, which I have here, and also on digital is the actual movie. Well, it's like you can't take two of these separate ones into these films, but these are half of the feature film. But mine I have is actually this is the entire movie. But I'm glad if this is actually just much enjoyable, but not one of those best Disney home movies that I actually found out there. If you haven't, but by all means, go watch the entire movie. And of course, to get back to the Ugly Duckling, though, this film originally came out in 1939 as part of the Silly Symphonies, and this was the last cartoon in the Silly Symphony series. After 75 episodes, and this was the last one from 1939. And after probably 10 years of, probably around 10 years, after 10 years of producing these Silly Symphonies, between 1929 through 1939, after a 10-year run, beginning with the Skeleton Dance, right up until this one. But this was actually a pretty nice, but sadly, after watching it, this was the edited version. There was one scene that was cut from this release, including a scene where the little duck was trying to fight a worm. Was trying to chase, that the bird was chasing the duck away. And that was cut. And then, of course, a scene where a little duck was fighting a decoy. That's also cut as well. That's kind of sad. And, of course, there is no superimposed titles on them. After watching through the whole thing, I've noticed that there is no superimposed titles on there. I can't believe this. This is not even close to that. This was one of the cartoons that did not have it. It didn't have a superimposed titles on them. But, nah. Not one of them, but if you want a better cartoon like this, go watch this one. And by the way, this cartoon was also released on Super 8 Sound as well. But of course, there's actually the same cartoon that was issued on Super 8 Sound. But just to give you a little test, it was pretty nice. So I'm glad you enjoy it as well. So let's get back to Sylvester and give you some films. It's time to watch some movies. And now Sylvester is going to come back once again, and we're going to show you some of the films that we showed on Super 8. So stand by for part 2. So stop the video right now, and we'll come back for part 2 of the GAF's 3000S watching cartoons, where I will show you some of the highlights from this cartoon. So Sylvester will be back, and we'll be watch it again as we see it as it was before. So stand by. I'm Chris, and I'm out. Well, now before we get to Sylvester here, I forgot to mention to show you all about that. It has the GAF 3000S has a nice features to go with it, where they add a couple of other features that all the setups that I just did. Here are a few of these ones. As you can see, here's the setup. Yep, you can tell that it hooks directly. This is the auxiliary setup. You have to focus wherever you can. You can connect it to your to an iPhone, as you see here. It's connected right into the iPhone, and here's what you can do to record. All you can do is hit the button. Just it says playback on there. Just hit the switch, and you can hit record. And then you can get full sound. Yes, it is actually it can play it right through the speakers. See the back side, you can see the audio is, you can see it connects it right to the speakers. It's the speaker is way too low. And there's your erase switch. And yeah, there's your sound on sound switch. But this is interesting. That was really cool. You could have a good setup, like you could connect it to this iPhone. Yeah, the iPod Touch. It connects right to this. Well, if it's recording instead of recording to the film. All right, I'm not going to show you the whole thing because of copyright issues. So after you're done, you can hit the button to stop. And there you go. That's a nice, cool feature of the GAF 3000S. So there you go. A lot of good demonstration for that. Plus, I will show you a sound film in just a moment. And also, I found another one. I'm going to test a Super 8 sound movie that I would like to show you. And this is a box I recently got off of eBay about a couple of days ago. Yeah, it has no cover, no artwork. It says Yankee Doodle Mouse on there. It's the Academy Award winning cartoon with Tom and Jerry. And this is the French version. This is not an American version, but I don't know what is happening with this version. This version right here was a European print from a company called Film Office from probably in the 1960s. And this is kind of like it was made in Europe. It was a French company. It was based out of France. And yeah, they usually put out a lot of great French movies that came out in the 60s and 70s, made by those old company that actually put those out by the stuff, along with Bugs Bunny and the other ones. Yeah, they have the rights to they were all French dub. This one does not have any dub at all. So yeah, sometimes it gets a little bit subtitles or look like it was done in French. But I would like to show you a little demonstration to test out a Super 8 sound movie. So let's do the same thing. Here we go. Oh, the film is unraveled. I'm sorry. And you can tell this is film is. All you're gonna do is thread the film snugly right into the slot. That's same thing. Do the same thing. It goes in here. Yeah, it took me too long to unravel it. Yeah, that I hate the way film unravels it. So, let's thread it in. Okay. Alright, I just wanted to make sure this is taking so long. Yeah, threading is taking too long. It's... Oh, here it goes. Alright, and of course now the film is in place. I don't want to mess the reel up to spill up the film. So now what we're going to do is thread this in and you're ready to show. So let's roll this movie and here we go. And here you go. It says Dick. I can't pronounce French. And here's the first scene of the cartoon. And here's your volume control. I can't even see in the dark. I am not going to show the cartoon right now because I don't want to get blocked by copyright issues. You know, I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to show the Tom and Jerry cartoon on there because of this copyright issues. And you know, I'm going to play through the audio here, and you can tell. Here's the volume control. And yeah, look, the audio quality looks pretty good. And this is where you're watching a French dubbed version of Tom and Jerry. And yeah, nothing is dubbed. But I'm going to show you the clip again. So, once again, I'm not going to show it to everybody because Warner Brothers would get booted for copyright if they showed us the whole thing. I know it's a little too complicated to watch this film, but this is a Super 8 movie, but I wish... I know, I have another Tom and Jerry cartoon, it's called Fine Feathered Friend, is on there, but I another French version. No dubbed, it's just the audio from there, but... I remember I used to watch on WPIX Channel 11 when I was a kid back in the 80s. I miss watching these cartoons. I have not seen any Tom and Jerry lately. Thankfully I have it on digital format. And yeah, this is interesting to watch. So I gotta let me tell you. As you can tell, Yankee Doodle Mouse is what you're watching right now. It was actually, this cartoon was one of the Tom and Jerry cartoons that won an Academy Award for the best short, as you can tell by the opening titles. But of course, the French version doesn't have any titles. But you could hear the MGM Tanner roar in the background, which I think it was the film office. But there's no MGM logo on them. But it was a variant. I could not tell it. So I just have to say this. This is like a very nice audio. You see, it comes out of the back of the speaker comes in well. So I just have to say, oh yeah, but now I can tell by the audio is a complete sped up. As you can tell, if you watch the actual cartoon though, it's got normal pitched audio, but this one, the audio is way too high. I don't know what's the issue with this because of the framing issues. I'm not sure if there's the audio issues with them. I don't know how to adjust this. There is no frame adjustments. Yeah, I don't know. There is no speed thing you had to do is to lower down the speed. I don't know if there was another version of the actual. And yeah, and let's point this out. GAF made there was a similar version of the 3000S. The previous model was a 2000S. It has a bare bone. Yeah, but in addition to this, let me tell you about the 3000S. There was also a GAF 2000S Super 8 sound movie projector. It has a bare bones version. Instead of having all the features, it's got just the speed control and the volume control. And first of all, I forgot to tell you all about it. Let's flip the switch. And yes, this is the speed control. Oh yeah, and if you turn it on 24 frames per second, you can go on reverse. Yep, the audio is a bit off. And let me tell you, the audio sustains it. Yep, the audio is completely garbled when you play it backwards. Oh, that's a fun thing, isn't it? I'm just gonna let it run through the rest of the cartoon. And yes, this is interesting to watch. And yeah, and you gotta love this. The frame is where you adjust your frame. It goes down and it goes up. This is interesting to watch if you're in the middle of an action. This is like interesting. Everything works fine. But yeah, I always enjoy this projector, and this is a very nice. I'm glad we enjoyed watching this, because the reason is, it has a nice speaker on the back. You can tell by the speakers. Yeah, the speakers is on the back. I gotta give this thing a whole try right now. This is nice. Yeah. It's kind of pitched higher, and I don't know what is happening with this. Like I told you moments ago, I know because of the audio, it's kind of a little time compressed. It sounds like it came from a time compressed movie or whatever it is. So here's the actual moment. If you watch the French version, this is what happens. You gotta watch it in a few seconds. So you gotta watch the end of the cartoon and see what happens. Okay, it's gonna come on every second now. This is if you watch the French version of Tom and Jerry cartoon, and it's in a European import, this is what ends up. Watch carefully. Yep, it was the flag. It was the U.S. flag. Is this kind of referencing European? And here's what happens at the end of the cartoon. Wow. It's just, instead of calling it the end, it says, instead of saying the end of a MGM Tom and Jerry cartoon, it says Finn. That was a European end title. That's kind of odd for a film office release to have it. I don't know any version of this had the end, and instead of using the end, it was called the Finn. I don't know what is happening with this version in the European. This is a European version. I don't know what is happening, because Yeah, did they use U.S. references to the U.S.? I mean, the flag was referencing the United States or something? Is this more patriotic or is this more French? I don't know. Because consider it was a Tom and Jerry cartoon, it was referencing U.S., the United States. It was using some of his references to patriotism or something. That's kind of odd. So, anything? Now you've finished watching the cartoon. Let's rewind the film. Yeah, I know. It was same with the audio issues with this because it's kind of sped up. Yeah. And now you're on rapid rewind. Oh. Okay. There you go. And there you go. Once your film is done, take this out. Let's put it back in the box. Same thing as was before. And you're ready to watch the next showing. I just want to put the box where it is. There you go. Plain and simple. Alright. That was the demonstration for a sound movie on the Super 8 on the GAF 3000S. I don't know what is happening with the sound issues because what happened is because the audio is so sped up. It's kind of like we're at about +5 or something. This is kind of like it was done in a PAL format or whatever. I don't know why it was made in a PAL format. I don't care. I don't have anything to say about this anyways. So there you go. That was a little demonstration of my GAF 3000S movie projector, the Super 8 sound movie projector. And there you go. I found it was quite cool. I love it. I always want to keep this projector because this is interesting. We have about 5 movie projectors at once because thankfully I have all 5 projectors. I've completed my collection, including my newest member of the family. I always want to get more Super 8 sometime in the future. So I like to start I have to start collecting Super 8 movies, which I think I always love to watch cartoons. I always want to collect more. Yeah, these were Tom and Jerry's was the cartoons I used to watch on television back in the days of the good old WPIX 11 Alive. That was back in the 1980s. I used to watch Tom and Jerry. Man, the cartoon was great. It's got some gags, a lot of good stuff. So my brother loves Tom and Jerry. I know my brother's a huge fan, so I always want to get more. Maybe someday I'll plan on see if I can get more Tom and Jerry in the future. In one of the future videos, I want to show you in my collection because all of my Super 8 stuff is there. So I just want to tell you, man, it's great to see that this Tom and Jerry cartoon in glory. In full glory, because what happened is this was the first Tom and Jerry cartoon I've owned is what they call the Yankee Doodle Mouse, the Academy Award winning short. But anyways, the film quality, yeah, if you've seen this thing on the screen, yeah, it has reddish hue, but compared to the DVDs, if there's the DVD version, yeah, the quality looks excellent. But yeah, it has better picture quality for the DVD version, or possibly there was actually the film Super 8 version. It was just kind of reddish tone or whatever that is. So yeah, it looks okay, but especially the opening and closing titles are all French, but these are all European because it was Europe. But that was made in Europe by a company, Film Office. They put that out, all the Tom and Jerry material on Super 8. It's got a better sound and a whole bunch of all the stuff there. Because, anyways, that's all we got for my demonstration. Enough babbling. We want Sylvester to end this video with one last thought. We'll give you a little treat for you, just for you. So stand by for now, and we'll tell you more about this. And that's all for now, people, everybody. And of course, this is Chris. And I hope Sylvester is coming back here. So we'll take over. I will be taking over Sylvester, and hopefully Sylvester's going to give you a little bit of a little thing to watch. So, stand by. Thank you very much, Chris. I'm glad I'm back here once again after he showed his demonstration of his GAF 3000S Super 8 sound movie projector. Well, it's time for me to watch some of those movies. So, I got one more film to go with. So, let's give you a little treat just for you. Here it is, Bambi and His Friends. It's probably the most thing I ever watched. Look at the cover. You can see here, there it is. That's Bambi, Thumper, and Flower. That's the biggest artwork I ever seen in my life. So, well, we're gonna show you the back. It says this is the most common Super 8 movie I have showed you in my collection. There it is. It gives you the description. It has 8 Mickey Mouses. They look identical. Look like these poses look more like Mickey Mouse. That's right, I catch the mouth right there. So, okay. And we're all set to go. Let's gonna throw this in and see what it does. Just for this one, I'll turn this on. Okay, thread the film in. For a second, we're gonna thread this film and we're all set to go. It's getting there. Okay, we're just ready to go. Now let's thread this in and let's get this thing started. Bambi and His Friends on Disney Super 8 is one of the most disappointed Disney cartoons I have ever seen to watch!
Good morning, Bambi. Good morning, young friend. Goodbye.
However, the original Bambi was far superior than it was before it was released in 1989 on VHS. But in this Super 8 version, the cartoon is so short!
The young prince fall down. Is he hurt? No. He doesn't walk very good, does he? Doctor? Yes, Mama. What did your father tell you this morning? If you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all. Come on, baby. Get up. Try again. Come on, get up. Come on, get up, Those are birds. 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 Look, he starts to talk. Birds. Trying to say birds. Say birds. 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 Uh-oh. Birds. Stop.
And after you watch this cartoon, and guess what? You'll see. The end! That's it! It's impossible to watch this god-awful movie!